In the beginning, there was nothing. No breath, nor beat, no flicker, nor flame. A complete void and without a name. No stars, no gods, no question why. Just abysmal vast without a try. Then subtly rose a shimmer small, a single note that split the all. From that fracture, the light unfurled, and born was she who held the world. But light alone can never reign. From her shadow rose a twinning flame. A circle closed, a spiral spins. The journey ends, a new begins. Where she would scatter, he would bind, the architect of humankind. From his whisper, the wind's first call, creatures sprang, both great and small. From quiet soil, the green awoke. Soft hands of leaf, the silence spoke. They drank the light, they held the sky. Rooted deep, yet drawn on high. The circle closed, a spiral spins. The journey ends, a new begins.
Mi ezt hívjuk tanyának. Az egész egység a tanya, olyan, mint a virágban a termő, és akkor szépen a szirmok meg azok így csukódnak körülötte, és akkor az úgy irányít mindent, érzékeli, hogy nappal van, este van, és így segít az egész virágnak működni. De ez nekünk az életünk is, szóval mi itt élünk hagyományos, teljesen hagyományos életet. Innen indulnak a gyerekek iskolába, ebben a konyhában kenem meg a szendvicset. Van egy óriási terület, ami vadállatokkal és mindenféle élőlénnyel, nem csak vadállatok vannak itt vannak a birkák, mindenkié. És van egy húzósabb időszak, amikor mi ezt egy kicsit így kölcsön kapjuk tőlük, tök sok helyen vannak emberek, és mindenhol megjelenünk, és amikor ez a fesztivál véget ér, akkor próbálunk gyorsan visszabújni így a csigaházunkba, és minél hamarabb visszaadni ezt az egészet a természetnek. De ez ugyanúgy nem csak a vagymúra, meg a pátánra, meg a borzra vonatkozik, hanem ugyanúgy a fára, a fűre, a vízre. Nagyjából ez úgy épül fel, hogy van a család, apa, anya, gyerekek, és egyből párhuzamosan van 2 kis halmaz körülöttünk, az állandó dolgozóink, akik a területen dolgoznak, és a csapatunk, akikkel a fesztivált szervezzük, akikkel minden héten találkozunk, hol itt, hol ott az országban, de valahol találkozunk. Aztán ahogyan közeledünk az eseményekhez, ez bővül. Ide költöznek hozzánk a koordinátorok, építős csapatok, egy-egy önkéntes, akiket nagyon megismerünk. És hirtelen belekerülünk egy olyan kisvárosba, ahol elfogadjuk, hogy már nem feltétlenül tudjuk, hogy ki kicsoda, de tudjuk, hogy ahhoz a csapathoz tartozik, ő ott épít, és ez az egyik érdekessége ennek a ritmusunknak, hogy arra a 12 napra 150 országból sok ezren azt mondják, hogy ide jönnek ebbe a tanyába, és akkor ahogyan az események lezajlanak, ez a kis halmaz elkezd szűkülni, aztán a végén megint van nagymama, apa, gyerekek, anya.
It's hard work. Looks delicious.
We're Mama and Papa.
Papa's Smurf, come on.
I met Papa Smurf and went to my first Ozora in 2018. We bought a gazebo, a smaller one, and we invited people in. And then we met the other admins, and the ball just started
rolling, yeah. It was very small in the beginning. Like, we were not many people. Like, there was just a few from the Facebook group. We met up, but now it has snowballed into something way bigger. There's so many people.
It's all ages. I mean, I think the youngest is 19 or something.
Yeah.
The oldest is
I don't even know, but
67, I think.
Yeah.
So it's everything.
Coming solo here, you know.
Yeah, in the 2019, it's a Facebook group, but we want to have an instant communication. So let's open a WhatsApp group. And that day I happened to be watching the Smurfs cartoon and how they just dance in commune and help each other. And I said, this should be us inside. So I just opened a WhatsApp group and called it the Smurfs Village. Right? It's a beautiful community which are glued by love. And the glue is blue.
Ez itt a mi camp táborunk, úgynevezett lila akácköz. Pihenő, önmagukat krémező lányokat láthattok.
Organzált, fonó lányokat.
Éppen készítik az openingre a ruhácskájukat, gyorsan kapt fel. Ami délután lesz egy jó erős kis próbánk, ez a legnehezebb, mert az első itteni próbánk, de hát már nagyon izgulunk, köszönöm. Jelenleg 15-en vagyunk összesen, ugye lányok?
Igen.
8-9 ős Unit Tribe tag, és egy úgynevezett kis Ozi csoport, akik vannak olyanok, akik először lépnek fel velünk, sőt olyan is, aki először jött Ozorára, úgyhogy ez mindig nagy esemény. Ez a nyitó már azért úgy alakult, hogy pár éve nagyjából azok az emberekből áll. Én azt gondolom, hogy nagyon fontos Ozora szempontjából, hogy olyan emberek csinálják a nyitót, akik kvázi helyiek. A szívügyük. Próbán, amikor fogod ezt a szalagot, elképesztő ereje van az, hogy csomó alkalommal ezt próbáljátok, hogy ott van veled szemben, őt kell figyelned, tartanod kell a fonalat, nem eshet le. Formál az emberen.
The whole trip for me was super nice. For sure, in my Ozora time, a certain percent of it is spent in the artist camp. That's a must.
I tell people that human beings are not the most intelligent life form on this planet. And if you look at animals, the way you can tell that they're more intelligent than us is they don't pay tax and have to go to jobs. And then trees and plant life are more intelligent again because they don't have to go anywhere. They just literally just receive what they do where they grow.
I'm a very impulsive person. So I take decisions, both in the small but also in the big things about my life, just on the instinct. I don't think so much. In the end, I just do it because I have the urge or the feeling to do it. In the end, it's like following your heart. If you follow your heart, it cannot be wrong. It cannot go wrong. Yeah, it can go wrong, but then there will be always a lesson to learn. It will always come something good out of it. And that's at least my experience in life. One of the few times when I'm playing, I let myself go. Because then I'm completely open. And that is a moment that I'm really Giuseppe 100% without any filter.
We are at Ozora, at the Dome stage. We are here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Parvati Records. It's the day zero. We go now.
Hypnosis. Resueño.
and I get the flow with the people, with the music I'm playing, and I see the people down there dancing and moving. I try to look as much as I can to the people to get the energy, and it's like you can imagine how the people move, no? And this guy looks like a cat, and this guy look more like an eagle, and this guy, and so yes, it's like people let it go. They don't care. They just move how they feel, and it's just beautiful.
Close, the spiral spin, the journey ends and you begin.
Tehát bennünket nagyon befolyásol a természet, de ez nem baj, ez teljesen természetes, ez így jó. Mi igazodunk a természethez, nem pedig ő hozzánk, ennek ez a lényege. Tehát mi próbáljuk azt az utat járni, ami nekünk a természet által meghatározott. Virágpalánta, ami itt található belőle virágok, az összes magot mi vetettük a zöldségfélékkel együtt. 8000 körüli, vagy annál egy kicsit lehet, hogy még több is, ami a virágpalánta, 2000 körüli, ami a zöldségpalánta, és azért ültettük ezeket a fajta virágokat, de egy picit visszamentünk a múltbéli virágokhoz. Az is szempont volt, hogy ebből most tudjunk szedni magot, és jövőre ezeket a magokat el tudjuk majd vetni, és ebből gyönyörű virág lesz következő években is. Azt gondolom, hogy van a főzőliget, ez az annyira egyedi eset, hogy a fesztiválosok tudnak maguknak főzni azt, amit szeretnének. Csak a bazsalikomból több mint 600 cseréppel raktunk ki, azért, hogy a fesztiválosok föl tudják használni.
Így azt érzem, hogy itt igazából a nőiességemet itt tudom a legjobban megélni. Nyilván van mondjuk egy nagyon-nagyon kedves barátnőm, aki mindent tud rólam, de hogy egy kicsit ilyen haveribb barátkozások vannak, vagy haveribb kapcsolódások, és itt meg nagyon mélyen bele tudunk menni dolgokba, és nekem az a biztonság, hogy igazából fordulhatok hozzájuk bármivel, nem ítélnek el semmi miatt. Szeretnék, hogyha a csigaházból minél jobban kijönnénk, és minél boldogabban és önazonosan tudnánk élni így a mindennapokat, és szerintem ez az, amit így ad a közösség nekem.
some traditions.
One of them is before the opening ceremony, we all start to fancy up here, make some makeup, some glitter, some paint, some LED lights and balloons and everything, and then go all together there as while howling. And then
Howling is important.
Howling is essential. We always say howling. You need to practice at home in front of the mirror. If it bounces back,
you know you're doing it right.
That's the tradition.
You always done something.
That's not our tradition. That's this land's tradition.
They are already shouting and screaming. Still 1 hour to go.
Very important in our music, and the rhythm that is not stopping. That's why it's called psychedelic trance, to bring people into trance, same as it was, in the old times, or people in tribes in, jungle, or, and they have a ceremony about that. And I think, Ozora also has become a huge festival. There's thousands and thousands of people, but I feel that there is still something about that. People coming here to meet, to join, to be together, to dance together. And that's what it makes, this tribal effect. This moment is very special because I feel that when it's like this tradition of the people running down to the stage is something that every year it gives me, sometimes I feel to cry really, because you can see the happiness and the joy of the people, and I think it's just beautiful.
Az életszövet alapja az mindig két ember viszonya, és mindenek vagyunk, ami valaki szemében vagyunk, és minden egyes viszonyunk az egy kötés az életszövetben. Ez egy tök tiszta szimbólum. Attól van a szövet, hogy találkozunk. Ez van. Jó reggelt! Hozom az ébresztő teámat. Kisasszonyok, jó reggelt!
Igazából ez a hely formálta azt, hogy kik ma itt a Unitribe tagok. És természetesen ugye az év közben én, ahogy tanítok, nekik van már heti órájuk, úgyhogy minden héten ott vannak. És ezen kívül ez egy baráti társaság, vagy inkább azt mondanám, hogy talán egy picivel több.
Jó reggelt!
Jó reggelt! Tehát, hogy megéreztük egymásba, vagy hogy így a Judit maga köré vonzotta azokat a kis szikrákat, akik tudtak hozzá kapcsolódni, és így mint ilyen méhkas-szerűen, meg méhecskék-szerűen, hogy egymáshoz vonzódtunk, azért mert hasonlóak vagyunk, hasonló az értékrendünk, hasonlóan gondolkodunk, de alapvetően szerintem az egyik legolyanabb fesztivál, ahol az ember visszatér igazából így akár nem negatív jelzővel állatias énnyéhez, de hogy alapvetően...
A magas minőségű állati énnyéhez, és egyértelműen egy aranyszőrű ló vagyok, egy telivér. Te mi lennél?
Én egy fekete párdút szerintem.
Ja, oké. See that.
I have a feeling that the planet Earth is a living library of intelligent information backed up from many different worlds throughout this galaxy and maybe even others. And humans have a soul signature that is their soul self, but we have imprints of incarnations. So if a human decides to incarnate, or a soul decides to incarnate as a lion or a praying mantis, they take on a bit of that energy. So when we come into human form, we carry these totems with us, which I feel could very well be previous or future incarnations that our soul remembers and brings forth through the human vehicle. You know, I've had experiences, visions, if you will, where you see people and they look like a lizard or a monkey or cat. They're tree people. Sometimes I can pick up if someone's had like a tree incarnation. They're super heady, those ones, very like intense brain cognitive power. So yeah, I feel like we take on these vibrations and that's linked to our totems. What about you?
We had an eclipse like that once where it felt like humans were the costume that we were wearing, but underneath the human costume, we could tell that we were from different star lineages. And so for Yegan and I, it's like a lot of the cat family is where we resonate. And so when we meet other cats, they're very warm and very sweet and loving right away. And it's like we're best friends.
Right, they do what they want.
Yeah.
So don't
very
expect to tie them down. They're just out of here. They're like, I'm off.
Yeah, in different tribes, in different lands.
I believe I'm like guided by the bears.
This will be a bear. Honey bear. It's an elephant. Elephant. Deer. The horse.
And cat.
Leopard. Jaguar.
The lynx.
The cat.
Gepard.
I think lion.
Lion. Lion.
Something from the jungle.
It's a monkey.
A ringtail monkey.
Mandrill.
A dragon.
Coyote.
A wolf.
It's a wolf.
The wolf.
A wolf.
The wolf.
The wolf.
The white fox.
The rabbit.
Chameleon. Chameleon.
Phoenix.
Green crow. Some bird of prey.
Falcons or eagles?
Eagle.
Eagle.
Owl. Like colibri.
Beaver.
A raccoon. It's an otter.
The frog.
I'm feeling a lot like the butterfly today.
A butterfly. A butterfly.
Worm. I think for today, the airiness. I feel very lightheaded and like I can just go wherever I want to go. I don't have to think about it too much. It's just like wherever my brain takes me immediately.
There is something magical that happens when you combine loud music and dancing with altered states of consciousness. You have this potential for transformational experiences. It is a kind of alchemy or a form of magic that allows you to reach these mystical states. Tribal people have been aware of this for thousands of years. If you surrender to the moment, if you really, really get into the music, open your mind, open your heart, then amazing things happen.
I go with the octopus because it can transform in any colors, any atmosphere, any landscape, and it's a really flexible animal.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
I think the B is because I'm a person who needs a community, needs a connection as well. That's what I see in bees as well, because they're working together, looking after each other as well, and this really fulfills my heart and gives me energy.
Actually, I always have some move, you know, like for the hands with me and some ears and some tail. And I like to, you know, it's like more a bit, like very gentle, but very present. And like, yeah.
I really like the way they grew in water and then they transform, evolve on the lands, living in two elements differently. Since I am a kid, I really love looking for frogs in the ponds and finding them. Yeah.
I dance for the sun eagle. I'm an eagle dancer. So yeah, the eagle gives me vision and the eagle sees in front and the back and has all overview. So yeah, it's not why. They come to you because they are you. It's not you choose, they choose you.
I think the elephants are much more docile, much more calm, because they know that they have a particular power, a particular strength. Possible, I could probably negatively affect someone, so I try to stay back. The elephants kind of gravitate to each other, and sometimes you immediately understand, whereas I think that most times elephants say, okay, you're a nice person, we can coexist. Let's coexist together, you know what I'm saying? We might not always believe in the same things, because neither do I believe in the same things as my sister, or my brother, or my mom. Actually, the best part about humanity is that we can potentially coexist, nevertheless having differences.
think if you let yourself be taken by the Ozora beast, then you will get closer to yourself in any way, and also to your spirit animal, yeah. And it's so in your face, like the peaks here are much higher. The differences are much higher, but also I feel like there's a very elegant energy going around that holds a lot of acceptance for everything and everyone, and that feels really good.
Tell me, please.
I know about these wonderful people because she got in touch with me maybe 6 months ago. We made the arrangement, and here we are.
Yeah, we did.
Wow, well, this is a community within a community, and this is absolutely mind-blowing. What a vibe. To the Smurfs. I think I'm more nervous now than I was before I played yesterday. Processing.
Thank you.
You never what?
Yeah, I never missed your set since 2015. I did it every
That's 10 years, man.
Oh, you smell good.
There's too many.
Thank you very much. Love you, man. Love you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Wow. That's it.
So I'm a
I get
mother
it.
with a lot of children.
Feel safe. All right.
I will. Thank you.
Lots of love. The spiral spins, the circle glows, while timeless dance forever flows.
and the ancient wheel of death and birth released again to walk the earth.
To leap, to love, to hoard, to share, to kneel before what isn't there.
In light and dark, we weave and war, telling secrets we ignore. Each soul in dust or living flame still holds the spark and speaks their name.
In every end, a doorway gleams, like a silent thread through waking dreams.
A mirror to the sacred core, the origin we once adored.
Beneath the shifting sands of time, a hidden truth begins to climb.
In a stillness now, the heart sees clear. What seems so far is drawing near.
Where spirit moves beyond the skin, a quiet light wakes up again.
A circle closed, a spiral spins, the journey ends, a new begins.
So for me, when I was younger, I had a lot of trauma in my body. So what would that look like? I couldn't sit still for 2 seconds, very irritable, like things would make me upset very quickly. So then I learned mindfulness, but also therapies that allow the trauma to leave the body. So learning this over many, many, many years and different ways of doing it. And then I start to realize, like, wow, there is a natural ability for the body to want balance all the time. So if your emotions are out of alignment, it's finding the root reason why. What is the emotion kind of pointing to? So it's like we have these different layers of reality inside of us, and learning all those different layers, and then coming into an understanding and awareness and listening and connection. And that starts to bring balance to the body. The mind relaxes, the heart relaxes, and then we call it regulated nervous system.
I remember seeing a news article from the 70s that was from an old newspaper in Australia where scientists were studying the ability of the Aborigines to communicate telepathically from one tribe to another across like 60 miles. There would be a chief of one tribe who would stand in a spot, and then 100 kilometers away, another chief would stand there, and they'd exchange messages. And it would come through sort of a visual thing that came through. So, imagine if we had a portion of humanity that was taught, even in school, how to start accessing these abilities. Can't even imagine what that would look like.
So I think we're gonna keep shifting around as tribes and finding like minds and like hearts, and then these creative bubbles where we wanna come together and we wanna make things. And that's gonna be a reason why we come together or grow things. We need each other, so.
Yeah, and also a move away from a pyramid structure, which is what the world's been built on for a long time now, and it's obviously not working. Even the biggest, oldest pyramids are starting to crumble, and we can see that. Bringing some core values to the table, like authenticity and accountability, transparency.
Integrity.
Integrity, big one. Bringing these together and having people live by them as values, while also being aware of the inner world. With the rise of somatic therapy now around the world, that's definitely a good thing, because we're able to access ways to get in and actually remove trauma on a cellular level. I think that's one of the biggest things that, as to why a lot of tribes that have come together have split up, because there isn't a foundation for working through shadow together. So that when shit comes to the surface, and we've all got it, we know how to work through it together as a tribe.
Every single one of us as their family.